Hello amazing people, welcome back to another beautiful tutorial. How you all doing, guys? Hope you're all doing great today I want to show you how to make this very beautiful halter neck jumpsuit with a wide leg. Yes, this is what we're going to do, and let's get to it. So this is the fabric that I'm going to be using today, and this is a crepe fabric. Yes, crepe fabric, and I have this alongside my working tools. What I have here is exactly 3 yards, so I'll just go ahead and measure it so that you can see for yourself. So I'm just measuring my first yardage, that's 36 inches there, taking the next one there, and I have 36 again, that's 2 yards now, and of course the next one, and that is 3 yards exactly. That's what I have here. And this is a by 16 length. You know, sometimes this by 16 length can be a little bit longer, sometimes can be shorter. Yeah, so I have about just 60 plus here. And so you can see I folded my fabric into 4, and I folded it along the yardage, okay, exactly into 4. So I'm just want to know the width of my fold right now, and you can see what I have here is 26 is my width of fold, so you might want to have that in mind. Then for my length, this is going to make up for my desired length, okay. Yes, so we are good to go right now. So the first thing I want to do now, the first marking I'll be doing now, is to indicate 8 inches from the unfold part, 8 inches. So this 8 inches, I'm going to extend it all the way to the length of my jumpsuit, all the way down there. You can see me marking my 8 inches. Then after that, I'll just connect all the points together to a straight line. You can see what I'm doing. So that line is going to serve as my startup line. Now, the next thing I want to do now is to indicate my vertical lines. First of all, I'm working with 9 inches from the top there, and that is the chest line. The reason why my tape is not really starting at that very edge is there's a little bit of service there I'll be trimming off later. So you can see I have 9 inches for my chest line. Then I marked 17 inches for my waist, 17 for my waist. Then my hip was 25 inches, okay. That's for the vertical lines. So going ahead to mark my straight lines there. Then for my crotch depth, I'm going to be taking it from my waistline, okay. Yes, so marking my straight line, I'll go ahead and label it as well. My chest line 9, waistline from 17, then the hip line at 25. Now from my waistline, I'll indicate my crotch depth, and I usually work with the hip circumference, and for me it is 44 divided by 4, and that is 11 inches. I'll go ahead and add extra 2 inches to that, and that makes it 13 inches. Okay, so this is a free suit, and of course you know, you can give it that little bit of space. So I just went ahead to add another 0.5 inches extra, okay, 0.5 is extra, you know, to the length. So instead of 13 inches, I marked 13.5 from my waistline, and that served as my crotch depth, okay. You can see me making my lines there. That's my crotch depth there. Going ahead to label it, and of course the next thing, of course, now is to indicate the actual length of the jumpsuit. So this is going to give me my desired length with my hemming allowance, okay. When I go, I will still have some little bit of excesses to, you know, trim out. And that's it, guys. We have this ready now. So the next thing I want to do is to start fixing our shoulder width. So I'm just want to, you know, hold my fabric very well, because this fabric are a little bit here and there. So just using my pin to put it into place. So once that was done, then I went ahead now to indicate my 8 inches using my 3 by 8 inches mark, so that we can get our shoulder width. So 8 inches for that. Remember, that line is serving as our startup line. So I'm marking 8 inches from that point. You can see. Then there I also marked 1 inches down from that point for my slope, and I now added 3 inches from there, you know. So I'll go ahead and connect it now, and that gives me my slope. So this is quite familiar, right? So going ahead to do this now, the next thing I want to do is to indicate the shoulder width. So I'm working with 16 divided by 2, and that is 8. So I'm just marking my 8 inches all the way to my chest line. You can see that now. So going ahead to make a straight line as well. Now we'll get the midpoint. So from the slope to my chest line, I have about 8 inches there, so which means the midpoint is at 4. So at that 4 inches, going by 0.5 inches, then I can now create my armhole. So this is serving as my front armhole. You can see what we have here. although we're not going to really be making use of this, but it is important to go by this process first. Okay, yes, so this is it, guys. Now the next thing I want to do now is to indicate what my bust circumference. Now on that chest line, I'll fix my bust circumference, and I'm working with 38. So 38 divided by 4, and that is 9.5. So I'll go ahead to mark that. Now mind you, this is a free jumpsuit. Okay, this is more like a BUBU jumpsuit. Okay, so I'm adding extra 4 inches. You can actually do 3 inches, is fine. Okay, but I choose to have that extra excess. Okay, and that's why I'm adding 4 inches to mine. Now on the waistline was 36 divided by 4, 9. I also added the extra 4 inches. Then I came down to the hip line, which is 44 divided by 4. I marked that down, and I also added what the extra 4 inches, which I am working with. So yours might be lesser. Okay, yeah, so going ahead to connect the points together from the chest line to the waistline, and there to the hip line. You can see this. All right, so now on the lowest part there, you can see I'm going to also fix in the hip circumference of 44 divided by 4. I'm going to mark that, that's 11. Then I'll also go ahead and add my extra 4 inches. So when I was done with that, I had an extra there, which is about 3 inches extra. So that 3 inches extra is what I'm going to use to create more like an A-line effect. Okay, and that is going to give us that wide leg, that wide leg effect. Okay, so you can see from my hip line, I'm extending it all the way to the end there. Okay, so this is us creating the wide leg effect, okay, on our jumpsuit. And so this is it, guys. Now coming to the crotch depth, now I'm going to extend my line out there towards that 8 inches mark we marked first. I'm extending it out by 5 inches, as you can see. You can see 5 inches there. Now I'm going to come to the top now and mark 0.5 inches from the top, another 0.5 inches line. Now this 0.5 inches line is going to extend towards the hip line. Then we'll now create our crotch curve from there. You can see what I'm doing. So marking 0.5 inches towards the hip line, then I'll just make my crotch curve from that point to that 5 inches we marked outside the crotch depth. I hope you can see this. So this is quite straightforward. So you can see now that 5 inches, we still have an extra 3 inches, where if we were to extend that line straight down, we have an extra 3 inches, okay, at the edge. So the way we have 3 inches on the other side, that's the way we also have 3 inches on this other side. So we're also going to make that same A-line effect. So this is also giving us our wide leg. So this is the wide leg effect right now. Okay, yeah, so the way we have that effect on the other side, you have to also repeat it on the other side as well. And guys, we're done with the side drafting. You can see this is quite straightforward. Trust me, if you're confused, honestly, just go over it again. I'm very sure you get it right. Okay, yeah, so we're done now. So the next thing now is to go ahead now and fix our neck width and our neck depth. All right, don't forget the lines. You see that part is the startup line. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark 3 inches. 3 inches is going to serve as my neck width. Okay, you know, this is more like a collar, right? Yeah, it's so we have to mark 3 inches for neck width, then 1.5 inches for the neck depth. So this one is for the back, 1.5 inches for the neck depth. You can see me making my curve there. Then for the front, I'm going to be marking 3 inches for my neck depth. I hope you understand. 3 inches for the neck width, 1.5 inches for the neck depth for the back, and 3 inches for the neck depth for the front. Okay, and this is what we have. So now to create the alter neck effect, we're just going to take it from that neck width now, just extend it towards our bust measurement. You can see what I'm doing. Just straightforward like this. Just make that curve like so, and this is it. So you can see now we are taking off the shoulder. You can see this, and that is it, guys. So if the armhole is so much, there's always room for adjustment. You might want to reduce, the excesses, the extra excesses you have on your armhole. Okay, yes, and this is it, guys. So straightforward. So going ahead to cut this out. So guys, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you always get notified every time I upload my content on this channel. And of course, like I used to say, don't just watch and go. like, share with your friends, and also share with your sewing communities. This will really go a long way to encourage me more, and of course to help this channel. Okay, I'll really appreciate this. Thank you so much, guys. All right, guys, so we're done now. You can see I've cut for the the back neckline. So I'm cutting out for the front neck depth here. You can see this now. So you can see the front and the back, they are practically the same thing. The only difference is just the neck depth. And here, this is what the front piece looks like. You can see what we have here now. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is just to go ahead and sew. You can see that 0.5 inches line. Yeah, so you're just going to go ahead and sew it all the way towards the crotch. Just make that sew there, and that will be it. Then after that, I'll use a bias to finish up my armhole. I'm also going to be attaching a pocket later on. I'll fix a pocket from the waistline, just fix a pocket towards the hip line there, and that will be it. So that's it for the front. Then for the back piece now, it is quite similar as well. The only difference is that we're going to be leaving a slit at the back there. First of all, I'm going to be using the bias for the armhole, and also going to fix a pocket here as well. Then we're going to be creating a slit because this is a jumpsuit, so you need to be able to pass through. So initially I actually indicated 7 inches. Okay, yeah, so you have to ignore it because it was later on I was like, oh no, this is supposed to pass through me, right? So I had to increase the depth. So this 7 inches is not what I used. I later increased it to like 13 inches. Okay, 13 inches downward. Okay, yes, so that's what I use because it is meant to pass through, and it's already a BUBU jumpsuit. If this was going to be a little bit fitted, trust me, you will have to fix a zipper. Okay, you have to fix a zipper, and this lines here, this 0.5 inches line, you can now make it like 1 inches or 1.5 to fix your zipper. Okay, yeah, so this is it, guys. So I'm just trying to do a quick demonstration so that you see how it looks. By the time you leave that opening, then you can now sew the remaining parts, and you can see this is what it's looking like. You can see this. So when you have your opening there, you go ahead and make your fold like so. You can see, just fold and sew that part, and you also sew the other part. So this opening now is what is going to enable you to wear the jumpsuit easily. Okay, yes, but like I said, you have to increase the depth later on, which is what I did actually. All right, so we're done, guys, on this one. So I'll just go ahead and finish this up, and when I was done, this is what we have. You can see, neatly done. At this point, trust me, I have not done that, so I'm still going to. It was when I finished this cut I actually had to increase the depth. So just ignore the opening at the back. It was more deeper than what you're seeing. So you can see this is neatly done. Fixed my pockets, the armhole has been cleaned up, my pockets, everything is in place here. Now that one for the back, and of course you can see my front piece as well. You can see this now. Yes, so this is what we have. So yeah, and of course because of the sewing, you need to really come close to actually notice that there's a joining at the center of the front. You can hardly notice it. Just make sure that you give this a very good press, and you have a neat finishing. Yes, so once this was done, the next thing I did now was to go ahead and place my fabric right side to right side, front to back. That's the front piece facing the back piece. Then I'll go ahead and now sew the sides. Okay, just make sure you arrange this very well. Then I also fixed a loop because I later attached a belt so that I could wear it with or without a belt. So I made a tiny loop here. This is about 2.5 inches in width, then 7 inches in length. You can see what I did. Just make a little strap like this so that when you're sewing, from my armhole I actually measured like 6 inches downward from my armhole, 6 inches down from my armhole there. So that's where I attached the loop. So just fix the loop inside so that when you're joining the side, you just sew everything together. So you want to sew, you start sewing from the armhole there. Okay, so from the armhole, by the time you sew, take it from there, you run through the pockets all the way and straight down to the very end of your outfit. You can see this now. So I'll do this. I'll also repeat the same thing what for the other side as well. Okay, yes, so this is how it's going to be. So once I finish up for the other side, then you can now go ahead now and join the crotch. You can go ahead and join the crotch. Just make sure that you bring the two crotch joinings together like so. Just align it very well there. Then you take it from that point and sew to one end, and of course you also sew what to the other end, and that will be it. Okay, so once that is done, the final thing to do there now will now be to hem the lowest point there. Just hem it all the way, take it round, and of course repeat the same thing for the other side as well, and that will be it, guys. So I'll go ahead and finish this up so that we'll come back to fix the collar. And when I was done, guys, this is what we have. You can see everything is sitting pretty. You can see my loop. Yes, so I actually made a belt for about 65 inches in length, yeah, so for my belt. So like I said, you can wear this with or without the belt. You can see everything is in place here, right? So the next thing, of course, to do now is to fix our collar. All right, so going ahead to do that now. So I have my piece of fabric. So this is what I use. So if you look at this now, you can see that there are some parts we have interfacing and some parts that we don't. So the part that we have interfacing is the part that will go around the neck, while the other parts without interfacing is actually going to serve as the tie, okay, more like the strap tie. All right, so now I'm trying to indicate the center. So the entire length of this my fabric, I think, was about 60 inches in length. Okay, so of course I have to work with the center a point there. So now, before that, the round neckline is very important. To measure the round neckline to know how fitted or how loose you want your collar to be, right? Yes, so for me it was 20 inches. 20 inches was suitable, so you might want to place this round your client's neckline to be able to get that. So 20 inches was okay, not too tight, not too loose. Then the entire length of this my strap was actually 60 inches. Okay, 60 inches. So what I did was to get the center. That's the center of this 60 inches will now be 30, right? Yes, so we're dividing it into two, so you have 30 on one side, 30 on the other side. So from that center point, what I did was to measure my 20 inches around the neckline, which means if I divide it by 2, from that center I'll mark 10 inches on one side. You can see this. Then from that same center I'll also mark 10 inches what on the other side. I hope you understand. 10 inches from side. So in between now, we know this is what round our collar. I hope you can see this. So this is what we have. Yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead and fold my fabric again. So more like I have it folded into 4. Now from that 10 inches point now, I'll also get the midpoint. So we want to create our collar effect now. So make the midpoint now, and which is 5. You can see me marking my 5 inches down there. I'm using my marker to make it more visible. Then I'll come to that line of my 10 inches. Then I'll go up by 0.5. 0.5 inches, you can see. So we're just trying to make a little bit of curvy, so that the collar can sit very well on the neckline. You can see what I'm doing. So just connecting it to make that curve effect there. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead and indicate my collar width. I'm working with 3 inches. So 3 inches now, I'll start marking my 3 inches all the way. When I get to that curvy line, I'll also place my tape at that point. So the idea is not to have a straight strap, but more like a curvy one, just like you see right now. You can see this now, and this is it, guys. So this space is actually what the main collar itself. So the remaining ones you have by the side are the straps. So all I need to do now is to extend these our lines all the way to the end. Mind you, the width of this fabric, by the time we folded it, I think it was about 5 inches. So you have to make it wider, so that as you're doing this extension, you'll be sure that you are not running out of shortage. I hope you understand. So you can see this now. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. Okay, yes, so that's it, guys. There's nothing difficult at all. So just take a time and cut through it out. Like I said, the main area of concentration is the part where you have your interfacing. So the other parts, was it's not necessary you have a perfect this thing measurement, okay, because it's going to serve as the strap. I hope you understand. All right, guys. So guys, if at this point you've not subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share with your friends, share with your sewing communities. I will really appreciate this a lot. Please, guys, I'm on my knees. Like, liking this video, it goes a long way. Like, really goes a long way to encourage me. Share with your friends and sewing communities. All this will really help this channel at least to make a move. Okay, yes, guys, I will really appreciate this. Thank you so much, guys. All right, guys, so now I'm just trying to confirm the width. You can see I have exactly my 3 inches there. Okay, you can see I'm concentrating more on what the parts we have are interfacing, right? Yeah, so I'm just trying to notch that center point so that it will be visible. So you can see what we have there now. So now we have 2 of this already. You can see it's already right side facing each other. So what I need to do now is to go ahead and sew one part there. Just sew all the way. I'll go and sew it, and of course give this a very good press. Then of course we'll turn it to the other side. So I'll go finish this up now. And when I was done, guys, this is what we have. You can see this now. Yeah, so our strap is already ready. So trying to still locate that center point now. You can see. So I'm trying to locate my collar, round my collar neckline again. Remember it was 20. So from that 20 inches, the center point, I'm indicating 10 inches on one side. I'm still indicating 10 inches on the other side again. You can see this now. So I'll go ahead now and also give this a tiny notch, because we really want to make sure that we have this in place. You can see, giving it a notch there. All right. So now the next thing, of course, now is to go ahead and attach it to our main outfit. All right, so bringing in our outfit now. Now we are going to be sewing from the inside, that's from the wrong side. So when we're done sewing from the wrong side, we can now top stitch on the right side. So now we're starting from the center. The center of the front piece, we already have a joining there, so that starts at our center. While the center of this our collar strap is going to be aligning with the center of the front. You can see what I'm doing. And we are using only one side because we're going to sew first on the inside, like I said. Then when we are done sewing, you will now turn it and top stitch on the right side. I hope you understand. So you can see the first joining there was from the center of the front. That next notch point now is going to be sitting at the back. You can see now at the back there. I'm going ahead to also hold it down with the pin. Then we still have one more notch point there, then that one will now go to the other side of the back. I hope you can see this. Quite easy, right? Yeah, so just make sure you're lying. Trust me, guys, take your time. You really understand this. All right, so just pinning it down. So pinning this down just makes everything easy. So once I'm done pinning it down, then I'll just go ahead and sew the remaining side. But I took my time to also, just pin everything, down very well. Just take your time and pin it all the way, the part that has it. So the excesses that you have is going to serve as the strap. That's the tie strap. You can see. So after this now, you go ahead and sew. So once you're done sewing, you can see now you can now bring it to the front and top stitch, just like you see me doing now. You can see this. Yeah, so bringing it to the front now, you go ahead and top stitch all the way. So once you get to the end, the remaining excesses you have, like I said, will serve as the strap for the tie. You can see, just extend it to the end, and of course to the other end as well. You can see this. So guys, that's it, guys. I'll just go ahead and finish this now so you see the final look. And when we are done, oh my god, this is what we have. You can see this is all beautiful. Like, one thing I liked about this is that you can actually make an adjustment in terms of you can tie your collar. If you want it to be even a little bit fitter, you can just adjust it. If you want it to be a little bit loose, you can also make that adjustment. And that's the beauty of this particular one. You can see how beautiful this looks. Yes, so just go ahead and rock it, guys, and you're good to go. So you can see on this my picture, I'm not even using my belt here. Okay, so you can rock this with or without your belt. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you find this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends, share with your sewing communities. I'll really what appreciate this a lot. A very big thank you to my subscribers. You guys are amazing. I always appreciate you. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. And if you're new here, I also want to say thank you. So see you on the next one, guys. Bye.